The following program is a presentation of Milwaukee Public Television's Finding Work initiative.
Goodwill Industries of southeastern Wisconsin is proud to support MPTV and the Finding Work series.
It's hard work finding a job.
If you need help, turn to the Goodwill Workforce Connection Center. They can assist you with resume writing and interviewing skills, plus give you access to computers and job fairs.
Believe in the power of work.
Manpower is proud to support MPTV and the Finding Work series. To further explore the resources available at Manpower to help connect job seekers with employers, visit manpower.com.
When you lose your job, you lose part of your identity. And then you go, well, how am I valuable?
Good evening and welcome to Jobs, the broadcast component for Milwaukee Public Television's Finding Work initiative. I'm Denise Callaway.
And I'm Mark Siegrist. Each month, Jobs will offer profiles of Wisconsinites engaged in finding work. Some will have found employment, some will still be seeking, and some will be assisting people in their searches.
This month, we'll talk to a woman who left a good-paying job to follow her heart, and a man who had been unemployed for 2 years.
We'll also meet two women who have been involved with the New Hope Project in downtown Milwaukee. But first, Denise has a story about starting over.
Imagine having to start your career and life over again at the age of 50. We caught up with a woman who, after being away from Milwaukee for 20 years, needed to return. What we found was someone extraordinary, living an ordinary life.
This is the book I use for my class to teach. Working with the Bucket Brigade, business cards, co-teaching or co-coaching students, newsletter writer and communications and media outreach coordinator. You know, smartphone makes all the difference. My satellite office here, right here. This is it.
Welcome to Meg Ciccantelli's world. It's one job after another. This former Chicago ad agency copywriter and journalist is readjusting to her life now in Milwaukee. Instead of just one job, like others in this challenging economy, Meg works many. She spends the bulk of her time at the Bucket Brigade, a startup consulting firm.
My role is as a general assist, but I also help with marketing, event planning, a wide variety of tasks.
Another hat Meg wears, teaching a broadcast journalism class at Tosa West High School.
I just feel like they taught me more than anything, but I feel like I'm more like a story coach because that's one of my interests, is finding stories out there.
Finally, this whirlwind of energy spends time working as the newsletter writer and communications outreach coordinator for BizStarts. BizStarts
Milwaukee is a nonprofit organization that helps entrepreneurs and startups get a toehold and get some momentum. So we help people start businesses.
If you're keeping score, that's one woman, 3 different professional jobs.
I wear a lot of hats.
So how did Meg end up in her hometown of Milwaukee after 10 years in Chicago? 3 words: economy, divorce, family. She was laid off from her ad agency job.
Advertising is one of the first things that goes when the economy goes. I think it was a mix of excitement and dread. Like you just didn't know what the next thing, what was going to happen next. And I hadn't moved back here for quite a long time, so I was looking forward to it, but I was a little bit leery of leaving behind, you know, living in a big city.
At the time, Meg just got divorced and felt a need to be living closer to her 90-year-old dad again.
People are doing all kinds of things in this economy, you know, and even the job titles are all different.
When Meg first moved back to Milwaukee, she was a freelance writer, but took on almost anything else.
It was cleaning a house for about 6 months. 20% off! I just remember like shrieking it out into the mall and going, I can't believe I'm doing this. 20% off all sweaters at, and I won't say where I worked. It was a short-lived experience. It's okay to have a pity party for a while, you know, but eventually you just got to leave the party and go out there and give it a whirl.
Giving it a whirl meant volunteering, accepting part-time work without insurance, and building a network.
Once you get in the work economy or the ecosystem, if you will, more opportunities seem to percolate, and jobs aren't going to come to me from Career Builder. Jobs are going to come from my network, my current network. It's been a year of working in identity for me, because when you lose your job, you lose part of your identity. And then you go, well, how am I valuable? I come into a situation thinking, how can I give value here? If it's to listen, if it's to ask questions, what you do as a journalist, if it's to report on a story, or if it's just to help schedule an important meeting. Currently, I'm also teaching, so my value is to be able to teach. These are all skills that are useful and I'm sure make a lot more sense than having a big title. It took me a while to adjust my mental ideas of what success is, and I thought I would have one job, you know, insurance, all these things, and it's like, it's not like that anymore. So I just, as I adjust my own paradigm of what success is, I would just say to other people, just keep on keeping on.
A huge fan of Studs Terkel's landmark book on working, Meg is taking a critical look at her life and what working means to her.
I loved his book because he was able to show how interesting work is. And it's fraught with all kinds of peaks and valleys and conflicts and dramas, and your whole identity can get wrapped up in a job and in who you think you are, but you take all that away and that's really a small part of who you are.
Meg is quick to point out that she'd ultimately like a full-time job for security and insurance reasons. But for now, she's enjoying this new and wild ride she calls life.
I was really ready to figure out what do I need to know to keep moving forward in this economy. I realized I didn't really have the skill sets, and so I was really open to trying new things and generating revenue. I have one of those health insurance policies that has like $1 million deductible, but I'm covered in case something happens. I have a place to sleep. You know, I have a roof over my head. This is not the life I thought I would be living, believe me, but it's riveting in a lot of ways. It's very different from day to day, and I love it, you know.
The belief that no working American should be poor is the guiding philosophy of the New Hope Project at the YWCA in downtown Milwaukee. For almost 2 decades, New Hope has been helping low-income individuals find meaningful employment. Everett Marshburn introduces us to 2 individuals who are making better lives for their families.
How much communication is verbal and nonverbal?
I believe someone once told me that 10% of communication is verbal and 90% is nonverbal, somewhere around there.
Who agrees with that?
You're watching a training session for the New Hope Project, one of Milwaukee's oldest and most successful transitional jobs programs for low-income residents.
Well, transitional jobs are what we like to call subsidized work opportunities, which basically means that, you know, us here at the New Hope Project at the YWCA, you know, we pay the wages for someone to work, you know, and gain work skills. You know, all transitional jobs have 3 core components to them. It offers real work, you know, offers real pay. You know, we believe in paychecks. You know, folks get paychecks for the work they do, as opposed to, you know, someone working for a paycheck, if that makes any sense. And all the jobs are real jobs. They're not make work. I mean, you know, we try to find something that most closely aligns with someone's long-term goals. Once you enroll into the program, you know, we go through about 2 weeks of what we like to call, you know, job readiness, soft skills courses. You know, they're not your common soft skills course, you know, where we just, you know, pitch the same old cookie cutter, you know, dress for an interview. We really try to delve deep into, you know, just some of the common misconceptions about what goes on in the workplace and workplace culture.
There is an intensive training program. Then the trainees are matched with a personal coach and then matched with a job.
During the workshops, we talked about finances and how to, if you're having a problem at work, to be able to come and talk it out with your boss. And I think that it was great that they did that, because it gave me an opportunity to look at things a lot different.
April Thomas graduated from the program last year. She is working full-time with the Multicultural Community Services Center.
They actually helped me find this job where I'm at now. It took them not even a week. As soon as I got out, she called me, "You got a job interview. Make sure you have yourself together." They also, they tell you how to be dressed. Don't be overdressed, don't be underdressed, but dress appropriate for the interview. They also prepared me for my interview too, so I did like that about them. I love the kids. I love their different personalities, and when one is angry, one can be so happy. Kids are so honest. They're free-hearted, they're trustworthy, and I love that about kids. I have 3 kids of my own, so I love being around them too. I love being around kids, period. Like I said, currently doing childcare, but I'm also in school for nursing. So I'm just here just for right now. Like I said, I love working with the kids, but I feel like I need to move a lot further than being with kids. I need to further my education, my career goal.
She is not alone in that area.
Right now, I'm looking a job in the health field, like a care assistant, which is what I have an idea of it. But what I intend to do is to go to school.
Esther Nkoh is in the current class with Project Hope.
I don't talk too much. I like observing, and I talk when it's necessary. Yeah, it's going good. Now we're done already with the studies, and now I'm working with my case manager.
Esther has been in Milwaukee for about 1.5 years. Originally from Cameroon, she spent 10 years in Italy before coming to the United States. In 2009, she met James Elam, and the rest, as they say, is history.
I just looked at her when we first met, and I basically fell in love. Ever since then, we've been inseparable. I didn't just fall in love with her because her kids are beautiful. I mean, kids are kids, but still, I love her little girls too.
They've been married for more than 1 year. James works for a frozen food company.
I work at Palermo's Pizza, so we make frozen pizzas, and I work in the warehouse, forklift driver / Mr. Purpose, do all.
I see him struggling, a young man struggling to do everything by himself, so I decided to look for something like going to school to give him a helping hand too. It's important because I believe every person needs to work in order to we both give helping hands, because left on him alone is like a burden. So we need to work give a helping hand in order to make things easier, especially for the kids. And now things are difficult, it's not easy, the house and food and everything. So I just feel like giving him a helping hand is the best for us to move ahead.
MPTV and its community partners invite you to utilize the Finding Work website at www.findingwork.tv. It offers a variety of services and links to various agencies mentioned in this program.
The website lists important upcoming events and broadcast programs. It's also interactive and is the best way for you to contact us.
I earned a lot of money doing it, and so when I walked away, it was hard. It was hard to walk away from that paycheck.
Debbie went to work for another bakery cafe, perfecting her skills and her general knowledge of the trade. She was also researching a business plan of her own.
Finding a job is like putting together a puzzle. You have to make sure you and the job are the right fit. Joanne Williams introduces us to a man who found the fit. He went from bicycles to bouquets.
Kelley McGowan credits his positive attitude, his determination to sell himself to a potential employer, and a love for the Green Bay Packers as some of the reasons he has a new job today.
With me and Anthony, it was something about the Packers. His first words were, "How about those Packers?"
I liked his personality. I could tell that he was, eager to work, to pitch in. And yeah, we had a connection, not only with the Packers, but also with music. I'm a drummer myself, not quite as established as he is as a front man, but I enjoy performing music as well.
I do work out in a band a little bit. Have a group of tightly knit friends who just like to play music, and occasionally we make $1 at it,
So Kelley and Anthony Rojan, part owner and president of Rojan and Mullaney Company Wholesale Florists, made a connection. Kelley was hired to pack flowers and deliver them to the many retail stores supplied by Rojan and Mullaney. When you walked in, what did you think of the place?
I thought it was pretty impressive. At first it looked like a normal warehouse production type setting, but then I got to look at the incredible cooler with all the thousands of flowers, and I knew I was someplace special. Cheryl, are those are waiting for flowers? They're all ready to go. And people were welcoming to me and smiling and friendly before I even had an interview. I walk in the door and everybody, "Oh, hi, how are you?" Just really nice.
So how did you come to be looking for a job in the first place? What's your employment history?
Well, I had been out of work for some time, and I had come from the bicycle business, which is seasonal at best, and so during the winter there's not much work in that field, and so I was looking around for whatever I could find that would keep me going, and it takes a while. As the people of Milwaukee know, it takes a while to find work, especially in a recession, but you just got to keep trying, I mean, that's one thing about job hunting that has never changed. You may lose hope at times, but you keep trying anyway, and because you know that something is going to be out there for you.
How long were you out of work?
Almost 2 years.
When you were looking for work, did you ever get down on yourself?
Yes, at least twice.
And what'd you do?
Well, I sought the advice of my family and the advice of my maker, and I took a day off to feel sorry for myself. Emotions are a tough thing, and it's easy to lose faith, even in yourself, But if you know that you're a good worker and you're conscientious and you're willing to work hard, you know you're going to find something.
Kelley's search led him to a Goodwill Workforce Connection Center.
I found a job posting at the Job Connection Center, recommended by my sister Maureen, and she said these people help people to apply for work online and work on building resumes and stuff like that.
How many people do you figure come through here?
In 2010, we saw almost 10,000 people come through, a combination of all 3 of our centers. Prior year to that, I do believe we were about 3,500, and it's continuing to grow. I'm glad to know that he was able to work the services, find job leads that he was looking for, particularly one in driving that helped him launch that job. Very glad to hear that.
He was one of probably close to 300 applicants that came in or called on the position. So we had a very strong response. This is what we've seen for probably the last 2 to 3 years, with people losing their jobs. They're very eager to get reemployed.
So you thought he'd be a good fit for your company?
Absolutely, yeah, really. Our drivers are the face of Rojan and Mullaney Company. They're in contact with our customers on a daily basis. So I really felt that he had the skills to excel at that.
So you're happy now?
Yes, I am. I have a place to go in the morning. I have a reason to get out of bed and get cracking.
Changing jobs is never easy, even when you do it by choice. Often that enterprising spirit is worth the risk. Recently, I met a Milwaukee businesswoman who gave up a successful career for something totally different. She followed her heart, and she's glad she did.
Lots of frosting. We go through lots of it every day.
Debbie Gale loves to bake. She's been baking for most of her life.
When I was a little kid, I used to bake with my mom all the time. We would make cookies, especially around Christmas time. There was always a dessert on the counter when we got home from school, cake mostly.
But it wasn't until recent years that Debbie started taking her baking very seriously.
It looks like we have more, and I think subliminally then people buy more because it's packed. Ooh, they have so much. I can buy all kinds of stuff.
See, and I think so.
Milwaukee Cupcake Company is the fulfillment of her new passion.
This is the red velvet. The North Shore, we call it, because it's kind of simple but classy, you know?
Debbie's creations are a delightful distraction to shoppers and workers alike in Milwaukee's historic 3rd Ward.
Yeah, so we'll have the strawberry buttercream and white buttercream.
After years in the executive search business, Debbie had a change of heart. Her expertise in human resources gave way to her love of gourmet baking.
We were finding people jobs, but it was at the senior level, and that can get very, politically intertwined. It can be cutthroat. It's just not, it wasn't satisfying to me anymore.
And you were doing that for about 17 years, Debbie, right?
About 17 years.
You were very good at that.
Yeah,
I mean, you were successful.
I did. I actually earned a lot of money doing it, and so when I walked away, it was hard. It was hard to walk away from that paycheck.
Debbie went to work for another bakery cafe, perfecting her skills and her general knowledge of the trade. She was also researching a business plan of her own. That led to finding space about a year ago in the Landmark building near Milwaukee and Buffalo.
There's a certain income level that would basically be interested in this type of product, and I found that here in the 3rd Ward, based on the types of companies that are in the neighborhood as well as the income levels of the people that live in the neighborhood. So there's the consumers that live here, and then there's the consumers that work here.
The demand for Debbie's retail and catering business has been even better than expected.
On a Saturday, we'll have anywhere from 20 to 30 catering orders that we're filling, plus weddings that we do. So we usually have weddings every weekend.
Despite the challenge, she believes maintaining a retail and catering operation is essential to survival.
In order to make it, you have to have both. I think in this economy, especially in Milwaukee, New York's huge, LA's huge, Milwaukee's smaller. It's a smaller city. There just aren't as many people there. So I think in order to succeed, I always knew that you have to have the catering and the retail.
Now I am making our cut-ahead towers because unfortunately, our delivery for strawberries was a little late this morning.
Debbie's sister, Patty Herman, is a big help with the business.
Pretty much from Thursday until Saturday is non-stop. I mean, non-stop. Saturdays, I start baking usually somewhere between 2 and 3 in the morning. We usually book at least 2 weddings every Saturday. Fridays are a huge retail day.
What we're gonna do in the next 5 minutes is take all those cupcakes behind you in that rack. Okay. We're gonna bring them upstairs and set them up in the display case.
Patty believes her sister's enterprise has definitely found a local niche.
You don't have to be a millionaire to stop and get a $2, a $2 cupcake or a dozen cupcakes for your child's birthday. It's simple, it's different, and it's not your run-of-the-mill cupcakes you can pick up at any grocery store either. They're completely natural. Nothing is made from a mix here.
Hello, counter people.
These are busy days at Milwaukee Cupcake Company. Turning something you love into a living doesn't come easily. Just ask Debbie Gale.
The most challenging part is the work. It's a lot of work. And the first year, the lack of sleep. and the just physical work that you put into it. It is just back-breaking, but it's worth it when you're doing something you love.
What does the future hold for your business? Where would you like to take it from here, or perhaps you're very comfortable with where your business is right now?
I want people to come to us first when it comes to, looking for that special treat for a party, a gift for a birthday, something for Valentine's Day. I want to just be the first go-to place for something special.
Building a brand name involves keeping the customers happy, one mouth-watering cupcake at a time.
Carrot. Carrot's going to be on the menu now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've had so many requests for it that I'm just like, forget it. We're going to put it right. We're going to put it back on.
The gourmet cupcakes in Debbie's business are named after Milwaukee neighborhoods, streets, and icons. Deciding between the Third Ward Peanut Butter Cup and the Lake Park White Chocolate Raspberry can be challenging. So, during your first visit to the counter, it's okay to just point.
And that's our program for this month. Remember the Finding Work website at www.findingwork.tv. It's a work in progress and will be changing and updated frequently.
We hope you'll join us on our April 27th, 9 p.m. program for the next edition of Jobs. Until then, thanks for watching and good night.
Goodwill Industries of southeastern Wisconsin is proud to support MPTV and the Finding Work series.
It's hard work finding a job.
If you need help, turn to the Goodwill Workforce Connection Center. They can assist you with resume writing and interviewing skills, plus give you access to computers and job fairs.
Believe in the power of work.
Manpower is proud to support MPTV and the Finding Work series. To further explore the resources available at Manpower to help connect job seekers with employers, visit manpower.com.
The preceding program was a presentation of Milwaukee Public Television's Finding Work initiative.